Back to family check-in, and thank you so much for taking some time to check in today. We've got a really, really important program tonight, and it's going to be very informative and some things you need to know. We've got the mayor with us, we've got Stephanie Marshall with us, and we've got Bruce Weeks. It's right before election, and we need to talk about some things, hear what they have to say, as well as to emphasize the importance of getting out there on Tuesday and voting. So welcome. Make sure you share this, get your watch parties going, because we want as many people as possible to be a part of this tonight. It's very, very important. We want to thank you so much today for today was Swagger Sunday, and we had a great day all day long. We want to thank Judge Warner, Minister Warner, for speaking at the 8 o'clock service, and then also Sister Adrian Moss at the 11 o'clock service. Great time. The praise team did a wonderful job, and we're really thankful for that and for all of that that's going on. Sorry about that. I cut it on. How did it happen? That's what happened live. That's my wife calling me, and she knows that I'm on tonight. Why are you calling me, honey, while you're supposed to be watching this? We had a great time today. We're going to come right back. We're going to get right into it. So you're going to hear the not the inspirational. Who's saying this morning? The power team this morning. They sound like inspirational. And so we want you to listen to them, enjoy them like we enjoyed them. We'll be right back.
blessing me. It's blessing me. Come on, the Lord is blessing me. It's blessing me right now. Right now.
Welcome back, Second Baptist. This was happening when you go live. It's our first time in live in a few months, and I got to get used to it again. But like I said, get your watch parties going. Make sure we are live, and so that you got any comments today. We want to take your comments live. And we've got the mayor with us today. We have Bruce Weeks with us today, and we got Stephanie Marshall with us today. And we're getting right now in the throes of the election. Tuesday is the day. And so we want to invite Mayor Smalls. We're going to ask you to start us off tonight.
Yes, good evening. Thank you for having me in the Second Baptist viewing audience. And it's a great day here in the city of Atlantic City. Can we say great day?
Great day.
Great day. All right, well, I'm Mayor Marty Small Sr. I'm a member of Second Baptist Church. Tuesday is a very important election, not only locally, but for the state as well. The governor's race is tightening up. He's going to need Atlantic City and others to get him over the hump. He's attempting to become the first governor since Brendan Byrne, Democrat, to win re-election. And listen, nothing is perfect, but we are making progress. And I think a Republican governor like Jack Ciattarelli will come in and destroy all the momentum that we're making here in Atlantic City. He will repeal things such as marijuana and other things that's aimed, for the urban community and social equity programs. All of that will go away. But more importantly here, it's a critical election. What is the final election of a 7-election run over 2 years, and I'm mentally, physically exhausted. Now it's up to the voters. We believe in politics, like I said, you don't use terms like deserve. I believe I've earned the good people of Atlantic City's trust and confidence to receive a full term. We've accomplished a lot in 2 years, but as you know, the problems didn't start 2 years ago, and it's not going to end 2 years from now. We're making progress. But this is America, and the way they set up the political system, anyone can run. Anyone. But I challenge each and every one out there, the 5 opponents who's running against me, don't listen to what they say. It's election time. Of course they're going to make things look good. And of course you can point to the problems that we're dealing with. But they don't have a plan and or solution. And they haven't been active in this community. They haven't been on the front line. You don't know their plan. You don't know them. And more importantly, how do you respond in a crisis? Mayor Small excels in crisis situations. Just look at the civil unrest at the Walk. When the rest of the country received weeks and months of rioting and looting, Atlantic City had a bad couple of hours. And that's leadership, working with the police department. Look at how we handled the pandemic. I was fresh in the mayor's office, and we handled it like a champ, not only with our numbers, but with some of the programming that we did. I want you to remember that when you go to the polls on Tuesday. I want you to remember the things that we've done for the business community. I want you to remember that this administration has lowered your taxes 2 straight years and got a positive outlook from Moody's and Standard & Poor's and an upgraded bond rating. I want you to remember that we had a small business academy for the residents of Atlantic City to make them entrepreneurs, to show them the way. I want you to know and understand that we have an investment cohort for the people of Atlantic City, and I cannot wait until we pull the curtain back off of our new recreation program that's coming at the top of the year. This and more that we've done in the 2 years that we've been in office should make sure that you dream big and vote small. And not only dream big, vote small, but vote for Council President George Tibbet, who cannot be with us tonight, Stephanie Marshall, and Bruce Weeks for Council at Large. Atlantic City's problems are big, but the solution is small. And I've always said that my administration is what all your dreams and hopes are made of. And we want you to know that a small plan does make a big difference. So again, Tuesday, November 2nd, this Tuesday, dream big, vote small.
Thank you, Mayor. We also have with us Stephanie and Bruce, and we don't have Trivett. We'll talk about that as well. You were with us last, right before the primaries, and everything went well, and we're really grateful for that. And now we got one more election to go, and that is the major election to put you guys in office. Stephanie, tell us how it's been and what you plan to do and what we need to do to help you get elected.
Well, thank everyone for tuning in this evening. I want to first start off by saying we appreciate you coming out and voting in the last election, and that is what got us here today. We're up against a tough election, starting with the governor on down. The polls have him even with a Republican governor. And like Mayor Marty Small said, he cannot do it, continue to progress in the city with the Republican governor. So we're asking everyone, please, like you did in the last election, to come out this coming Tuesday, November 2nd, and vote column B. It's been a lot. We've been knocking on doors, asking for support. We don't take this lightly. We take it seriously. We have been to many communities and spoke with different people in the community. Like I discussed with you last time, some of the things that I bring to the table is I have a degree in finance. I understand budgets. I'm on the Housing Authority Board for Atlantic City. I understand how procurement works, how federal and state funding works. Some of the initiatives I would like to see in Atlantic City is home ownership. I live in the first ward. Only about 17% of the homeowners in Atlantic City actually live there. We have to bring that number up. Throughout Atlantic City, about 37% of homeowners live here in the city. We have to bring those numbers up, and the only way we could bring those numbers up is with federal and state funding, through CDBG funds, and through this administration working with the governor on down, who can see that happen in Atlantic City. If we could just bring that up over the next several years, up some. I know a lot of people who are interested in owning their home here in the great city of Atlantic City. We need to focus on women and children issues and health care and programs and so forth here in the great city of Atlantic City. And those are some of the things that that's already a part of the mayor's vision, but we cannot do it without you. So we humbly ask if you could come out again and support us on Tuesday, November 2nd, starting with the governor on down to all the local seats, the county seats. Right now there's a partnership between Mayor Marty Small and the governor's office, as well as the county representative, and we need that partnership to continue, but we cannot do it without you. So please come out and support us one more time, to give us 4 years to work hard for you. You see me in the community, you will continue to see me in the community. So please, everyone, come out and support November 2nd.
And we also have Bruce. Bruce, glad to have you with us again as well.
Good evening, Reverend Days, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, the whole Second Baptist community. And again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to get to know us a little bit better, to get to know our plan, because we do have one. And again, we want to encourage everyone to come out Tuesday night, the whole Tuesday, November 2nd, to vote the whole column B, as they stated, starting with Governor Murphy, all the way down to Mayor Small, Council President George Tibbet, Stephanie Marshall, and myself. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Bruce Weeks. Born and raised in Atlantic City, graduated from Atlantic City High School, attended Howard University, where I graduated in 2008 with a degree in finance. Shortly thereafter, I started my career in New York on Wall Street, where I spent about 6 years there. Moved back to the area in around 2016, gained some government experience starting with the City of Atlantic City as the senior accountant in Department of Revenue and Finance. And currently I work for Mayor Small and his administration as his constituent services director, where I get to help resolve a number of different issues, whether it's code enforcement, public safety, public works. We also do a lot of citywide programming, as the mayor mentioned. We launched the city's first ever small business academy. We partner with local organizations as well as state agencies to put together a 9-week curriculum so that residents can empower themselves to learn how to start a business from A to Z, but we also wanted to connect them to opportunities in regards to funding, because we realize that it's not always just about the learning component, but it's about connecting residents to the resources which they've been shut away from for far too long. So like the mayor stated, we want to empower residents, and one of the things that he wanted to implement was also an investment cohort, because we saw that during the pandemic, a lot of people lost jobs, a lot of people were on unemployment, they didn't have multiple streams of income. We sat down, we thought that maybe an investment program would be perfect for the City of Atlantic City. It's never been done before. So we want to thank Mayor Small for his vision and leadership, because that's coming to life as we see. We're actually starting next week, or within the coming weeks, but we had an interest meeting last week. We had over 100 residents come out that had interest in joining. So we're very excited about that program. I'm running because my platform is centered around economic justice. I think that Atlantic City doesn't have a money problem. It's just that the way it's distributed throughout the community, I think the system is broken. And I want to help address that in a number of ways. I look forward to, I guess, telling you a little bit more about our platform as we go throughout the night, as well as answering any questions that anyone may have. But again, we want to encourage everyone to vote column B, November 2nd, the entire column B.
Marty, Mayor, one of the things, let me first say congratulations to Dr. Crutta Small on being voted superintendent. We're going to have her on, and I think that is absolutely fabulous. Very qualified. She's come up through the ranks, and we're really excited about having her on. But I want to go back. You said earlier that Governor Murphy started with an 11-point lead, and now he's even. He'll be the first, if he wins this election, which we hope and we're going to work toward, he'll be the first Democratic governor to be elected the second term in over 40 years. What do you think is going on in the state?
I mean, I think that the hopes were and the expectations were not real with early voting. And you know, people don't like change. So the traditionalists, which I am, I vote on election day. I go to the polls with my entire family. That's our tradition. Some people, for whatever reason, said they didn't trust it, that they want to just go on election day. And this is something that we shouldn't expect instant gratification. This is down the line once people get comfortable with it, that they do have 10 days of early voting. So when you see in Republican areas, the numbers are high, but in early voting in Democratic areas, the numbers are extremely low. So let's just take a number that I heard today.
Well, why you did, that's one of the questions I need to address before I forget it. They want to know how early voting is going, so go ahead and continue just to address the issue.
Well, let me give you an example. Essex County is the most populous Democratic county in the state. If you get Essex County support, any statewide candidate, you know, stands a good chance. I think they said there was like a few hundred votes in Essex County, which is a traditional Democratic stronghold, but other areas that are Republican strongholds, the numbers are up. It's simple. I had the governor on my radio show Saturday. He was in town today. He sounds strong, he sounds optimistic, and like he said, our team is bigger than theirs. And just like locally, we got more registered Democrats than we have Republicans. But you just got to get the people out to vote, and that's what we're going to do because it's extremely important.
We have another question. I guess this question is aimed to you, Bruce. It is, how can they find out more information concerning the business program?
So you can give me a call at the office, the mayor's office, at 609-347-5400, or you can shoot me an email at bweeks, and that's BWEEKES, at cityofatlanticcity.gov. You can also at ACNJ. We just updated it, so it's bweeks at acnj.gov. But you can also find me on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, very good. Stephanie, you've been with the Housing Authority, you're a longtime Atlantic City resident. So what has been some of your community activities other than the Housing Authority?
So I volunteered with the Housing Authority as well with some programs with tutoring on Fridays. But some of the initiatives I've been a part of is the tearing down of Stanley Home Village, which that's going to happen in the next couple years. And then the gutting out and the rebuilding of Busby Village. Those units, apartments, they were built in 1935, the first Stanley Home Village. And then a third one was built in 1955. They're outdated. The storm doors alone are $2,000. It's just not affordable any longer to maintain them the way they are. And when I first got on the board 12 years ago, there was a fight because of gentrification in our community and some stakeholders being afraid that we were pushing out the minority vote. Well, that has changed, and we understand more, and more residents understand the importance of better quality housing, whether it's public housing or whether it's home ownership. We shouldn't have to live with certain issues with old housing stock. The way they're redeveloping and redesigning home ownership has changed a lot. We have an example right here in the great state of New Jersey in Toms River. A great example is the area of New Orleans. You know, a lot of the housing does not look like public housing anymore. So that's something that's going to happen in the near future. And under the Mayor Marty Small's administration last year, we were able to negotiate a whole city block in Atlantic City. And that's truly unheard of. And we've called it Stanley Jr., where when we begin to tear down Stanley Home Village, we'll be able to relocate some of those residents over to Stanley Jr. and give them the option to move back. So we have to increase housing in Atlantic City, and we have to make sure that we provide a better quality of housing in Atlantic City. That's so important.
We also want to thank Mandy for sending in your email address, Bruce, the correct one.
Okay.
So for the Small Business Academy. So make sure if, how many people went through the last academy?
So the first cohort, we graduated 44 residents.
44 residents. And what are some of the things they go through with that?
So we start them out week one with, I guess, a class on how to incorporate their business, the different styles and types of businesses that they can choose from. Then we have 2 straight weeks of business plan development. And then I believe we jump into marketing component and branding. And then we kind of take a break and we have a networking session so everyone can kind of break the monotony and get to know each other. But they also get a chance to work on their elevator pitch during that networking session. Then when we come back, I think it's week 6, we have an accounting session. Then we have kind of like a bookkeeping session. And then lastly, we have an elevator pitch competition, so a business pitch competition at the end, so that our students can go in front of a panel of judges and actually compete to see who's going to rank, first place, second place, third place. Because it's very important that you're able to articulate what your business is, especially when you go talk to banks and other different funding sources. You want to be concise and have a very straightforward plan. So we really cater it and center around 2 things: the business plan and then that elevator pitch, because that's the primary components where we try to connect them to funding. So we find that to be, I guess, the 2 most important parts of that program.
Mayor, we also have school board candidates as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we are supporting the school board team, Jared Barnes, Shay Steele, and Ruth Byard. The school boards in column I is located under column B, and our candidates are the last 3 candidates. These are independent thinking candidates who have accomplished much in this community, and they have the trust and respect of people in the community. Shay Steele and Ruth Byard are incumbents. Well, now, Jared Barnes is an incumbent as well. Far too long, the school board was ran by people who had their own agenda, and if you didn't go down with their plan, they blew the whole thing up. I think that it bears no mention in anyone's name, but I think the people get what I'm talking about. So these are sound, independent thinkers that will promote an agenda for the best interest of the children of Atlantic City, and we're gonna support them as well. We'll be out there getting the vote out for them too.
And I think second, you ought to know, everyone knows Ruth Byers, she's a member here, a long-time member here, as well as Jared Barnes, so, I never tell you who to vote for, but you know. So we just want you to, but Mayor, Tuesday's the big day for everybody. What's the plan, and if people need to get to the polls, are there methods and means and ways to get them to the various polling
Yes,
polls?
I don't have the headquarters number off the top of my head.
I'm sure Mandy will post
put
it
it in
on
there. Our campaign manager is Constance Mandy Days Chapman. She's done a great job for us, and she's also the chairwoman of the new Atlantic City Democratic Committee. And our headquarters are there on 1300 Atlantic Avenue on the first floor, directly across from Wells Fargo. I know Election Day is a holiday for many. Come help us out. We need it. Election Day is a big day. It's going to be a lot of hustle and bustle in the headquarters. We'll be making calls. So come out and give us a hand. And it's important. If you need a ride, we'll get you there. We're going to be out in the streets, knocking on doors for the last push, because we don't want to take it for granted. On paper, there's no competition. If you look at the mayor's race and the council race, we are the most accomplished, we are the most qualified, and we are the most experienced. And at least with us, if you ask anyone in the community our names, you don't have to say who. And that's extremely important, because anyone can come sell you a bill of goods during election time. And we address the bad. Everything's not good. We got some serious problems in Atlantic City. But we're not ignoring them. We're working extremely hard, and we've done a lot. And with your vote, we'll do more.
So Mandy's already posted already. She's already posted the number to your campaign headquarters. So if anybody wants to, and they can be, and people ought to have some civil pride, community pride. That if you need volunteers, and they can call the number to get volunteers. We still need people to get out and knock on doors and make sure that people have rides to the poll. And they don't just have to, call, but see if you got neighbors that's going, make sure your neighbors are going to vote. And, and offer them a ride or walk with them. If you're like me, you live right next door to your polling place, walk together as a family, make sure everybody in the house votes. Stephanie, what would you like to say to the people, to give them that push to get out there to vote?
I'm asking everyone, please, dream big, vote team small. We need you. We cannot do it without you. As the mayor stated, as my running mate, Bruce Weeks, who works in the mayor's office, as he stated, there are so many programs and so many initiatives that the mayor has brought to the city, and he wants to continue bringing to the city. And he cannot do that without you. He cannot do that without having council members who will support his vision. The governor supports his vision and allows for certain programs to happen in Atlantic City. And so we ask you if you could please come out and vote so we can continue to do more for the city and bring more programs, quality programs, not just any programs just to say, I bought something here and this is what I gave you. No, these are quality programs. I attended one of the programs, and I went to school for finance, and as a finance major, as my running mate will know, you look forward to maybe working on Wall Street one day or working for a major bank. And the young lady who is teaching that program, the energy and the knowledge that she brought to the city, I had to pay for that knowledge that she's going to bring. But even her introduction alone was awesome. So the mayor will continue to bring quality programs to the city, but he cannot do that without your support. So please, we ask you to please come out and vote November 2nd so the mayor and the Team Small can continue to bring these awesome, great programs here to the great city of Atlantic City, along with our governor.
Yes, and Stephanie just raised a very interesting point, your relationship with Governor Murphy, and the importance of having a good working relationship with the governor, with the mayor of Atlantic City. Can you talk about your relationship with Governor Murphy?
I mean, listen, it's a partnership, and I was around during the Christie administration. I was the council president, and he couldn't even work with a Republican mayor, and he's a Republican governor. So, as Murphy called the gubernatorial candidate, Jack Chitterelli, he's an extremist. And I look at where we've come from through working with the partnership. The partnership's not perfect either. We have our ups and our downs. Sometimes the city and the state interests are not going to align, and that's fine. But it's my job as mayor of the city of Atlantic City to fight that fight. And we fight, and we win. And sometimes we lose. But you don't ever get everything you want. But there's a respect, there's support, there's guidance when needed, and it's a true partnership that I can't wait to see what the next 4 years are going to bring.
Yeah. You know, you got, one of the other running mates for city council is George Tibbet, and he's not here. Can you talk a little bit about George Tibbet, Bruce, your running mate?
Yeah, so Council President George Tibbet was unfortunately not able to be here tonight, but he's in alignment with our vision and our plan as a team. He agrees that the mayor has done a tremendous job since taking office, and that he has earned 4 more years at the very least, to say the least. What I will say about Council President is that he's very passionate about helping to reshape the social services landscape in Atlantic City. He's also very passionate about the Airbnb situation, as well as trying to develop and find a new development for Bader Field. So he's been very steadfast in that effort, and we want to give him kudos on that. But again, he has a great working relationship with the mayor, which is something you haven't really seen in Atlantic City in quite some time, where you have a mayor and you have a council president who both agree that if they work together, it's only going to benefit the community at large. So again, we appreciate the work they've done for us the past couple of years. I think we all want to see this continue for 4 more years at least. Yeah, that's my take on Council President George Tibbet.
You know, and it's so important that you have a team that the mayor can work with, administrative as well as the legislative bodies. And I think that's so important that you need to really, all of us need to know. We've known over the years the problems we've had, administrative, legislative, council, mayor position, and to have both on the same team working together for the good of Atlantic City is so important. Give me a good pitch for the people, Bruce, in terms of to get out and vote and why they ought to get out and vote for you guys on Tuesday.
Oh, well, like I just stated, we have so much momentum going on throughout the city. When you look at how the mayor handled the COVID pandemic, no other mayors had to do that, to go through that. He handled it with extreme professionalism. We had all the resources that we needed throughout the city. We were able to feed the seniors and all the disabled housing authority buildings 2 hot meals a week. He had testing sites for the residents, the only testing sites in the county, were in Atlantic City at the time. When you look at the citywide programming and all the momentum that we have with that, we need to continue those efforts. We don't have time to go backward with the new mayor who has no experience at anything pretty much. We have the right person in now. He's making a lot of great decisions for the city. So again, we need to continue that because it's very, very important that we have someone in office who's competent and who can work with everyone throughout the state. Not only just creative, but like you stated earlier, the governor's office, but as well as the county representatives, the assembly people, all the state senate, our local state senate person. All of them are working together right now, and that's why you're starting to see a lot of resources come to Atlantic City, even as recently as the $1.5 million that the mayor was able to procure from. Right now, he's an Assemblyman Mazzio, but he's going to be our hopeful senator. But the fact that him and the mayor had a great relationship, they were able to bring additional money for our recreation, for our youth, but as well as for our anti-violence efforts. So we need to continue those things, and we need to elect the best council candidates, and that's clearly going to be Ms. Marshall, Council President Tibbet, and myself. Again, I think we all believe in the same things, and we want the same things for Atlantic City. So we want to encourage everyone to come out Tuesday to vote November 2nd for, again, the entire Column B slate. I think it's very imperative that we have a cohesive team that's competent and that has a vision and a plan, and that is not just going to poke holes at certain candidates, but actually provide some substance to what we're saying. And again, you can just judge us off our work the past couple of years alone and see that Atlantic City is pointing in the right direction.
I think this has been one of the cleanest campaigns that we've seen in Atlantic City in quite a long time, probably since I've been here, and I want to
Coming off
commend.
the dirtiest.
Yeah, say what?
I said coming off the dirtiest campaign. of
Yeah,
crime.
yeah. But I'm saying it, you know, that's a very positive for the city. It puts a very positive light on the city as well on the campaign. That, you know, that the focus is not on the individual, the focus is on the issues, and we're really excited about that. But Mayor, I think you need to emphasize one more time, because when I went to vote, and I didn't look at my voting ballot until today, the sample ballot, was that I had to look, you know, had to take an extra look to find the school board, and just emphasize again where the location of that is, and the location of,
It's simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very important election. Again, the choice is so clear. You go in the polls, you look for column B. You go straight down column B, press all the buttons until you can't go anymore. And even if you make a mistake and still going down, perfect, don't panic. You're gonna go right to column I. Skip the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and just vote the last three, Barnstable and Bayard. Then you go to the right, you press the button, it goes boom, you voted for the good guys.
thank y'all so much for coming. I want to give everyone a final word before we close the night, and I want to thank everyone personally for coming and being a part. It's so important, this election. And second, we know, and all of our friends who watch throughout the community and throughout the state and wherever you might be, everybody knows somebody in Atlantic City. Call and encourage them to vote. Make sure they haven't voted early. Make sure they get out and vote on Tuesday. And polls open at
6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
and make sure everyone gets out and vote. We need it. We need right down the line from mayor right on down, from governor right on down to school board. It's important your voice to be heard. So we're going to give everybody an opportunity to have a final word. And we'll start with you, Bruce. Since you were the last one, so we'll start, the last should be first.
I'll just reiterate, column B, column B, column B, this Tuesday, like Pastor Dave said, polls are open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Make sure you grab your neighbor, make sure you grab your entire family. This is a very, very critical election, and we need to get everyone on column B in office, and we need to keep those that are incumbents in office. And again, column B, November 2nd, the polls are open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you need a ride to the poll, please contact us. I believe that Mandy put the number in the chat, but we're here to assist you in anything that you may need on election day. And again, column B.
Yes, thank you everyone for tuning in this evening, and column B all the way, as our campaign manager often says. We need your support. The governor needs your support. Mayor Marty Small, myself, Stephanie Marshall, my running mate Bruce Weeks, and Council President George Tibbett. And please, don't forget about the school board candidates, 4, 5, and 6. That's Shay Still, Ruth Bayard, and Gerald Barnes. 5, 6, and 4.
Just the last three.
The
Just
last three,
three.
yeah. The last three, please, because that's truly important as well, that we have really good school board candidates that are out there pushing for quality programs for our children. But please, everyone, you know, come out with your neighbor, your friend. If you need a ride to the polls, please call our headquarters. We'll be more than happy to take you to the polls that day. On Tuesday, the polls are open from 6 until 8 p.m. And we asking column B all the way from the governor on down. Please, thank you. And if elected, I look forward to serving you. You will see me. I look forward to answering your questions and being a servant to you. Thank you so much.
And I'm Mayor Marty Small Sr., and I approve this message.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys for coming on, and it's always a pleasure, and we're looking forward to working with you when you are in office. I want you to know that all the comments have been very, very positive concerning all of you, and so you can count on, you know, our faith family to be in support. And we're grateful for you, second, for tuning in tonight as you always do so faithfully. And we know that you are faithful, faithful voters, and so many of you already early voted like I did. Tried something new. I enjoyed it. I hope they keep that thought that was really perfect, because I'll be out of town this week. But I also want to just say Sister Days was not able to be with us today, but she's been texting me and through the whole process trying to distract me. But we are really thankful for each and every one of you. Also, we do want to remind you to be in prayer for Reverend McCoy and the passing of his wife Cherie. So we just ask that you continue to lift that family up in prayer. And I've already announced today the many families that are in bereavement this week. And we know that you always come through. And also Pastor Wilkes passed away of Grace Church, and so we ask that you lift that family up as well, and that congregation in their time of bereavement. We thank all of you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday night. God bless everybody. See you soon.